So if you saw my video about scanning objects into 3D models, you'll know the current version of the program I used, Regard3D, has a bug with exporting objects with image textures. The developer is aware of it and it should get fixed eventually, but in the meantime, a viewer sent me an email with a better workaround, so I thought I'd go over it. In the video, I did mention one way to get around it was to use colored vertices, but as was pointed out to me, this creates much fuzzier textures even at equal resolutions. If you're interested in the differences, you can see these examples in detail in the corresponding blog post. But anyways, all we need to do is make sure you've created your surface with textures. So here in the densification, when you went to create surface under the colorization type, you should have picked textures, and your surface should say textures here. This does take quite a lot longer, by the way. But then when it's done, note down the path to the surface in the project tree and the picture set. Since you named that manually, you have to start from 0, so we're in picture set 1. And if I open up my project folder, so here for me it's picture set 1, matching 0, triangulation 0, densification 2, and surface 5. In this folder, you'll find a bunch of files. We only really need the object file, which holds our mesh, the MTL file, or the material library file, which tells your program where to look for the textures, and the texture images themselves. Then we can just copy those wherever you wanted to export them to. And now in Blender, we should be able to import it just fine. Go to File, Import, and in here you should see a wavefront object option. If you don't see this, make sure the extension is turned on in your settings. And I'm going to go to my desktop where I copied it, get the object file, and import. And in Blender, you might not see the textures because you have to be in the Blender render with a texture view on. So once I click that, you can see our model has all its textures. That's just how they load by default. If you want to use the cycles render, you'll have to connect the textures manually to your shader. Anyways, I hope you found the video helpful if you were interested in capturing the textures. If you have any questions, or if there's anything related to 3D scanning or 3D modeling that you'd like to see me do a video on, leave a comment. I've been getting more into 3D modeling lately, and I'm fairly comfortable with Blender now, so I'd like to do more videos related to 3D stuff in the future.